Welcome everyone to the video, and today we have a very important video. We have the dev diary that came out, and now there are a lot of nerfs, a lot of changes. Zynga is making a lot of changes. The first thing that's happening is there will be a nerf to Sansa Stark. She used to be the go-to for Rhaegal as well as Icy Viserion. Now she will only apply ice once when your team is debuffed instead of multiple times. So that instant brittle has now been taken away. They did not change Renew, so she is still good right there. They're doing some ally changes. The Lannisters are going to have a new mechanic called Enter the Treasury, which are going to periodically spawn coin gems on the board. And they're going to be collected by matching and spent to empower certain abilities. It's just going to be different. They're going to have new characters such as Sandor, Joffrey's Guardian. He's going to be a Lannister / Baratheon, violet color. We're gonna see more about. I'm not gonna go too in depth with these because I want to wait until they actually show numbers of skills and such, because that's going to be the key part. But we'll basically go through this. He's going to deceive. His mark grants a shield and healing. And then he's going to hit people when there's enough coins. He's going to have that. And there's going to be a new Joffrey, the future king, who's going to be a blue Lannister. So you can use both Joffreys. And he is going to do something to disrupt Renew. He is going to counter those tactics. And, he's both a Lannister and Baratheon. So now we have more Baratheons in the mix. 2 legendaries. Interesting. So we're going to have another blue Baratheon, and let's see. And Sandor is going to be a violet new Baratheon. Then we have Meryn, who is going to be a Lannister red. He's going to soak pressure, disrupt early turns, and feed the treasury with every missteps your opponents make. He'll fill a much-needed role for Lannister teams that attempt to take on faster opponents. So I think they're going to try to change the Lannisters to handle the green teams, which are super fast. So we're going to see that happen. Cersei is going to be changed. She's going to gain Malice and Malice stacks. She's going to remove buffs from enemies, increase Malice. Each turn when a Lannister ally hits half health, if she has Malice, she'll spawn a coin gem. They're going to go based on this coin mechanic. And Jaime is going to have... he's going to be doing his thing. Joffrey is going to be doing his thing. They look pretty strong now, the Lannisters. This adding coins to the treasury, I'm curious to see how this works, but it is going to be something new. And Tyrion's going to pacify enemies for certain turns, so that's when they're like kind of out of battle. He's going to spawn coin gems when Tyrion or a marked ally are debuffed. Peter Baelish is going to get some changes. We will find out to see if that's good or bad for me, because my Baelish is the heart and soul of my roster. They're going to change it. He's now going to have a normal speed skill, which he's going to damage an ally using current HP, then strikes an enemy using HP pool. So he's going to attack twice at normal speed. His passive, he's going to spawn a coin gem. I'm really curious to see how this, on an enemy defeat, he's going to gain a strong attack shield. We'll see what that is. And inflicts stun, deceive, and wound, each targeting a random foe. That might be interesting. His leadership ability, I'm a little worried about. It says allies lose stamina when one uses a skill, but all gain attack shields while Peter gains stamina. So I'm curious to see what they change with Baelish. Treasury 20 unlocks a massive AoE attack based on his shield power. Not sure how you're going to get 20 coins. That might be a lot to get. If that's what it is. 20 coins seems like it's going to be a lot to get. We'll find out what happens. Braun gets changed. The minions, they get changed. Here's a big change. The Targaryens. Now, the Targaryens are going to be changed. Fire will stack up to 10 times. Previously, this was 5. And it's going to be for late game damage potential. Fire will deal less damage at low stacks, but ramp with more strength, ensuring it deals more damage when it reaches 10 stacks. Fire damage will also scale with the target's max HP instead of attack, making it a true threat to tanks and frontline defenders. Okay, so if it's going to scale with their max HP, then fire should do more. Here's what you can expect from fire in play. 1 stack of fire will deal more damage due to max HP scaling. 2 to 5 stacks of fire will do less damage, okay? And at max 10 fire, it will do more damage than the current max, okay? So we have a higher potential for fire. Fire will deal more damage than Renew heals when both are at 7 or more stacks. Okay, so they're looking to target the Targaryens and fire to go against the Renew champions. So that this should help people in Crown's Challenge. They're going to do less damage to DPS champions and more to tanks. Defense will not reduce fire damage, but fire resistance will. Fire will have a maximum damage. This will be so high that it should never come into play unless you're in Alliance Legendary Assault. They're going to change the Targaryen faction bonus. They're going to add more characters as Targaryens. Alicent, Green Alicent, who is in the egg event, is now joining the Targaryen faction. Her speed is increased on her skill, healing power increased, no longer grants a defense buff, and now applies fire to all enemies. Now, a lot of people have Alicent, and she was nerfed. Now she's completely changed. Leadership ability, I don't think I would use. Kristen, this is Purple Kristen. He's going to be added to the Targaryen faction. So now you could use him in the pit. He is going to apply fire to random enemies when his marked ally uses their skill. Stamina sacrifice and grant increased. Okay. Let's see. What else we have? He gains a long-lasting taunt if he marks himself with Kristen's charge. So that should be interesting. Daenerys, Mother of Dragons, is going to change as well. Her new passive will still benefit from critical hits. Applying fire will give her more stamina and will reduce enemy fire resistance whenever fire is applied, making her more dangerous in coordinating Targaryen teams. Her leadership ability will apply fire to all enemies at the start of combat and give all Targaryen allies permanent fire resistance. So they're looking to make her like Ned is to ice. They're going to slow her skill. Very slow speed. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. She was fast. She was a fast speed. Now she's very slow speed. Base and per fire damage reduced to reflect higher late game impact. She's going to apply fire to foes when she crits. When enemies gain fire, she grants Daenerys. When enemies gain fire, grants Daenerys stamina and reduces the target's fire resistance for a few turns. Okay, so it's very slow, but she gains stamina when someone gets fire. So I think a character like the Mender is going to be super important for the fire team because he's going to have that chance to inflict more fire passively, and you could get the stacks over 5. All enemies begin combat with 1 stack of fire. So if you use Mender, you have a 30% chance to start off the match with 2 fire on most of the targets. And they gain indefinite fire resistance. Okay, so this is interesting for the Targaryens. Now, Grey Worm is going to be in the Targaryen faction. His gem color is going to be blue. Okay? With a flat taunt duration, fire retaliation, and added HP guard, he'll be better suited for longer, tougher fights. Let's see. Base damage, slightly increased. Taunt will now last a flat 5 turns. Will now apply fire to attackers while taunting. That's good. He's going to gain an additional HP guard at 25%. Upon first guard activation, applies fire to a random enemy. Okay. This is the biggest nerf in the game right here. Rhaenyra. This is the biggest nerf in the game. If you look at her leadership ability, she will only spawn power-ups when a fire-afflicted enemy is defeated, which means in events, she will no longer be creating tons of power-ups. This is big. This changes everything. Her skill speed is going to be normal, fire chance 100%, buff removal increased, base damage reduced, increased chance to destroy power-ups. But that is pretty bad. A lot of people spend a lot of money on Rhaenyra, and now that nerf, most people got Rhaenyra for events, and we're going to have to figure out a new meta for events because things are about to change right now. Also, the cheese is back. In Battle of the Bastards, people are using renewed champions like Marjorie, Kat, and Sansa to get lots of renew and to break the boxes. And breaking the boxes, it takes a long time, but you could break all the boxes and get insane scores. So the cheese is back. The cheese is back. So that is news for there. Viseris, let's see what Viseris does. New skill. Deals AoE physical damage with bonus damage for each fire stack on him. Speed reduced from fast to normal. Okay, so he gets nerfed on his move. His passive grants fire resistance, applying fire to himself and random enemies every few turns. That's interesting. So every few turns, I don't know what they mean by that exactly, he's going to apply fire to himself and random enemies. When an ally is defeated, all Targaryens gain attack and Viseris heals based on fire stacks. I think you'd want to run with the Daenerys lead because she's like Ned, but for the fire team. So I'm not even gonna let's take a look at Maester and Mender, because they are the ones that are really important for fire. Reworked. Instead of overlapping, he will play a targeted support role combining taunt, healing, renew, and fire through a unique synergy with critical healing. Okay. And let's look at the Mender. The Mender will receive a boost to make him a more valuable healer from the moment you unlock him. His early performance has been underwhelming. Will be raising his healer power. Okay. To complement the rework, his heal can now critically heal. Okay. And we have the Brotherhood. Beric. His skill deals AoE fire damage with bonus crit chance. Applies fire to all targets only on crits. Okay, so now he has to crit or else he does not create fire. That is a big nerf to Beric. No longer applies a defense debuff when revived, making his taunt more effective. Triggers taunt every time he is revived, not just the first time. Okay, so if you keep reviving Beric, he is going to trigger taunt. That is good. And we have Thoros. Self-damage reduced. Triggered on ally critical hit. Deals fire damage and heals the ally. Okay. Triggers. Okay. So he's changed. I don't really care about them. Let's look at Drogon. Drogon I've been using in the pit. And he's going to be slower speed, but deals significantly more damage. Fire chances consistent. Friendly fire damage increase. Applies more fire to allies and can no longer hit himself. Viserion is going to be changed. His skill will renew effects from enemies. AoE damage reduced. Wound duration removes renew with bonus removal chance. Healing based on max HP. Okay. Arrow is changed. Arrow does not need a full overhaul. Damage slightly adjusted. AoE and debuff chance increased. Attack debuff slightly reduced in potency. Okay. And the Ice Warden is going to increase damage. And he is going to have a new leadership ability where he's going to revive the first defeated ally with a portion of HP. They return pacified for 3 turns. Okay. So, the big deals for this are the fire teams are going to be stronger as a raid team. They're probably also going to be better in the pit. However, you're going to get new characters in the fire team. You're going to get Alicent, Kristen. Daenerys is going to kind of have the ability like King in the North, Jon Snow. So whenever there's fire, she's going to gain stamina. She's going to be pretty potent. Grey Worm is now blue. Rhaenyra has been nerfed very badly. Her leadership ability was probably the best leadership ability in the game, and now she's only going to spawn power-ups when a fire-afflicted enemy is defeated. So it looks like the event meta is going to change. Comment below and let me know what you think the event meta is going to be. Baratheons are looking pretty strong in my opinion. I think Baratheons are going to be super strong. Baelish is going to be changed. I'm curious how that is going to be. I definitely will be hoarding my silver to think of how I'm going to be reacting to my raid team. The new Joffrey and the new Hound will be both Baratheons. So now we have even more Baratheons that are going to be available for you. And the Lannisters have the coin mechanic. So, and Sansa has been nerfed. But she still has the renew, so she's still very valuable. It's just the instant brittle has been taken away. Comment below and let me know what you think of this dev diary, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care, all.